Annette Funicello is one of those rare people who seems to stay fixed in time for the rest of us, someone we respond to as we always have, no matter how many years have gone by.
A few days ago, she received her star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. And today she joins us to talk about some of the many ways she has changed as she's gone from Mouseketeers to successful businesswoman. Please welcome Annette Funicello. Thank you so much for joining us today. It's nice to see you.
My pleasure. Thank you. Thank you.
Congratulations on your star.
Yes. I woke up this morning and it was like, what star? What party? It happened to somebody else, not me. It's incredible. You know, it's incredible. This is something that you see on television. Somebody's getting their star, but it always happens to somebody else.
But also, I've heard some stars say that they worry desperately that nobody's going to show up, and that's something
Really?
that, after listening to that ovation, I know that's something that you never have to worry about.
Oh,
there were a lot of fans there.
There were so many fans, and even guys in 2 fire trucks came by and waved.
Oh, how
those firemen, you know?
Great. All those
But aren't
firemen.
there like Annette fan clubs all over the world?
I don't think so. I have had the same fan club for so many years, since 1955, since I was a Mouseketeer. The same club, lots of the same members, and it's great. That's loyalty for you.
No kidding.
Were you aware when you were on the Mouseketeers that there were so many young boys who were lusting after you?
No. No, I didn't.
You didn't get letters like that? You didn't get my letter?
Yeah. I remember you told me about that.
Yeah.
When we saw each other the last time.
Right. Well, I was trying to find it, the last time we spoke, I was trying to find a way to ask you that, and I figured that on this show we'd just say, okay, I was lusting after you. Did other boys do it as well?
At least you're open and honest, huh?
Yeah. Very in touch with his feelings, this one.
Yes, exactly. We didn't know the impact of the show when we were first doing it. It was a giant. It was the #1 show across the country. We didn't really know until we started going on the road. Mm-hmm. And then, you know, you could hear the adoration and the people just clamoring for the Mouseketeers. I mean, it was just incredible.
If Walt hadn't supported you in saying, don't change your name, would you have changed it? Because
Yes.
wasn't he the one who said, it's a beautiful name, people will never forget it once they know it?
Yes.
You wanted to change it to Turner or something like that,
Yes,
right?
yes.
Annette Turner.
We mispronounced it. We Americanized it to Funicello. And Mr. Disney said, not only may you not change your name, but you're not pronouncing it correctly. It's Funicello. And he's the one that got us to say what we say today.
Yeah.
We were talking about your fans embracing you as they have through the years. When when we all discovered through your announcement that you had MS,
right.
How did your fans deal with that? How did they take it?
Well, I didn't go public for such a long time because I didn't know how they would take it.
You were diagnosed back in '87, was it?
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
exactly.
And you were touring then with the reunion with Frankie
I
Avalon?
went on the road with Frankie. I didn't even tell him because I was fine for about 4 years after that. I was fine, and then all of a sudden I had to use the cane. My equilibrium started to get real bad. In fact, my balance now is no more. It's just progressively getting worse. They call it chronic progressive. And, but thank God I didn't just wake up one morning and not be able to walk. So you learn to live with it. It's not, oh my God, what's happening to me? You learn to live with anything. Yeah. You really do.
I got a chance to meet your dad backstage.
Yes.
How has he been able to handle this, the MS, his little girl?
Right. I didn't tell him in the beginning because I was fine, and I thought if I have to have something, MS is the way to go, because this is fine, just a little numbness in the hands and my feet. So I didn't want to worry him. My mom knew, my kids knew, but I didn't want to worry my dad. And I finally had to tell him. I couldn't hide it anymore. And he's fine with it now. He's okay. I mean, he's so protective of me, and he's great. You saw me holding on to him. That's my equilibrium, and he's great. My children are just great. We've all learned to accept it.
Well, I know somebody else who's okay, and that's you, obviously, because there are a couple of ways you can go.
And it's incredible. You have not let this slow you down at all. If anything, you're flourishing. You're at a new stage in life where you're exploring your business sense and that side of yourself as a woman, and it's beautiful to see how successful you've become.
So busy. You know, it's amazing because since I went public, I've never been busier.
We want to talk about some of those businesses in just a moment. We'll be back with the woman who might have been Annette Turner in just a moment.
Talking with Annette Funicello, and you probably noticed that she's sharing the sofa with some of the most adorable little bears you have ever seen. These are from your private line of teddy bears.
Yes, the Annette Funicello Bear Company. This is Daisy, and this is Skipper, and that over there is Flora.
Now, this is a business that you came up with the idea for?
Yes, I've always loved teddy bears, and I'm sure you can relate to that, right? And I always wanted to do something with my own line. So it's something that when it finally came together, I was able to do at my home. I designed them. I helped actually with award-winning designers.
I got this idea for a giant purple dinosaur that sings.
That's my favorite color.
What do you think?
Yes, great.
People are fascinated and love bears. I've never been able to figure it out.
Love bears.
Oh,
you know
I do
something,
too.
John, what I've discovered too, dolls are gorgeous, and you know, they're porcelain but kind of untouchable. And a guy will take a doll and sort of hold it out and say, yeah, this is pretty. With a bear, you're not afraid. Here, hold this.
Especially a bear with a dress, I like.
Hold that.
That's perfect. I would pick this up in a second and do the whole show like this.
You look as comfortable as a woman does. I mean,
you.
it's universal. You really look good.
And you not only have the bears, but you have the fragrance, which we talked about at the top of the show.
Yes.
And you had the name Cello picked out before you ever began marketing perfume, though.
I did. You know why? Nobody could pronounce Funicello. I got the strangest, Fumismello and Funicula. And I thought, if I ever came out with a fragrance, I'd use cello, because everybody can pronounce that. And that's what I've used, Cello by Annette.
How do you sit around and just sniff stuff for weeks to figure out what
No, that's exactly right.
knows.
The perfumer lives in Texas, so he would make his little trips and he'd bring samples with him, and it was like, no, that's too flowery, or that's too strong, and I don't like that. It took 1 year to come up with something where I could say, that's it, and I knew immediately.
It's a very intimate thing to have your signature fragrance. And this fragrance, it's very feminine and very light.
Yes.
And it's just very refreshing. I like it a lot.
Yes. Thank you. I sprayed some on your wrist, right?
Yeah, it's great.
And you liked it. It is fresh and feminine, and it lasts.
Now, what do you find you've learned about yourself as the focus goes into businesswoman and shifts for you in your life? Do you like that part of yourself? Are you discovering new colors within your personality?
Yes. I've also learned to relax. Of course, I have to. But things are not as hectic anymore. And I realize that things can wait until tomorrow. You know, it doesn't have to be done immediately. I used to race around town and you know, I'd have to have everything now, right away. It can wait until tomorrow. And it still gets done.
You're doing a good job getting around. And you have some help from a cane there that the Disney people...
Isn't this wonderful?
I love this.
I have to tell you the story. The cane that I used was aluminum, and every time I would go to the airport and walk through that archway, I would buzz. And they would take the cane away from me, and I said, please, don't do this to me because I can't walk without the cane. I don't have... But they would take it from me, and, you know, it was so embarrassing. So my friends at Disneyland heard about it, and they made this plexiglass cane for me. And you can see Mickey Mouse is right here in the beginning, and it has a little something of things that I've done. There's Babes in Toyland, and there's a couple of records. The Mouseketeers' names are down here. It's a very, very special cane, and I don't buzz anymore.
Good for you.
I don't buzz when I walk through.
Annette, thanks so much for being such an inspiration to all of us. Thanks for helping me through my younger years. I was going to say through puberty.
It was my pleasure. Thank you both for inviting me here.
Good luck with the businesses
Yeah.
and with the collection of music that you have out too, which we didn't get to talk
box
about.
set, yes.
So it's all happening
Thank
for you. It's wonderful.
Thank you so
You'll
much.
always be my favorite Mouseketeer.
Be well.
That's what it's called.
When we come back, we'll have some do's and don'ts for you of starting your own home-based business.
Still to come, how one woman turned her private passion into a successful career as a best-selling romance novelist. Plus, meet a group of